I wanted to change gears a little bit, and so you do talk a lot about trends in your podcast, right? So why are trends so important in business?
So you can really, I think everybody's got a fundamental understanding of what trends are, but they don't pay attention to them the way they should. And if you can imagine, you have got a canoe and you put it into a fast flowing river, and you're going downriver. It's going to be easy for you to get far, fast, and with not a lot of effort. If you take that same canoe and put it into a swamp, into this still pond, you're going to have to really use a lot of force to get across to the other side. That's the way we talk about trends. Trends is the market. That's what's happening. Things are moving in one direction or maybe bifurcating, but they're moving in a direction. And if you fight a trend, it's going to be difficult for you to really make a lot of headway. And so the counter of that is, of course, if you're put your canoe into this still water of a swamp, you're going to have to do a lot of activity to get engagement, to get to remain, or at least show that you are relevant, even though you might not be. And it's a tremendous amount of work. Aligning to trends, keeping your eye open to what they are, and making an effort to really to watch them, to track them, and ultimately to share them with your team so that you're aligning with where things are going, not to where they are today.
Okay, so I needed to clarify something else. So some things are trends and some things are fads. So what's the difference between a trend and a fad?
Yeah, so that's a question we get asked quite a bit at Spark Partners. People see something and they start to gravitate and they say, well, this is a trend, so I'm going to take my life savings, I'm going to put it into cryptocurrency, or some of these other things that are sort of buzz right now. And what we say at Spark Partners is you need to be really understanding what are the sort of certain elements that support that fad or trend, whatever's in question. If you look at and I'll use cryptocurrency because it's a bit of a polarizing. I think most people, we'll say a third of the people are like, yep, absolutely great. A third are like, nah, and a third are just don't even know what it is yet. But ultimately, the scaffolding that upholds cryptocurrency, for instance, is not quite as stable as people think it is. Just this recent week, you saw, last week, you saw a significant dip in Bitcoin and others, and the scaffolding isn't there yet. So a fad is something that comes in and has a propensity to just go through because there's no scaffolding, there's no foundation. And right now, cryptocurrency, in Adam's opinion, is 100% a fad. In my opinion, I'm still watching to see what happens. If you remember what happened maybe 6 months ago when a certain Central American country decided to really adopt the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. Of course, we're talking about El Salvador down there. And, they had a huge dip in their entire GDP, and the way that their economy worked is now being upended because of these decisions, because there's, again, no scaffolding. So scaffolding is the number one thing, or a foundation that separates a trend from a fad.